The San Antonio Spurs are a travesty. It's been a disaster in San Antonio this year. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that Greg Popovich is still around. And I think the only reason he is stuck around is because of a kid named Victor Wembanyama, who at the age of 20 has broken into the NBA and dominated the league at a rate we haven't seen since a young LeBron James, to be honest. On the year, this kid is putting up 20.7 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals, 3.4 blocks, which leads the league. He's also 12th in rebounds a game, like we said, 10.4. He shoots at 47% from the field and 32% from three on 5 attempts in 29 minutes per game. He's on kind of a minutes restriction to keep him healthy. That is insanity. Per 36, he's putting up 26, 13, 4.3 blocks. Absolutely bonkers. This kid, we put him into Crafted NBA to see who he was most similar to, and the two top options that came up were Anthony Davis, the year that the Los Angeles Lakers won the championship in the bubble, where AD was one of the most dominant forces in the NBA when he stayed healthy on both sides of the ball. And the other one that came up was Hakeem Olajuwon in 1991, which, if you don't know, was right in the middle of Hakeem Olajuwon's prime. Yes, they didn't win the championship for another 3 more years, but that was because of a guy named Michael Jordan. But this man, Victor Wembanyama, is going absolutely bonkers. And honestly, the only reason he's not talked about more is because Pop and the Spurs have kind of failed him. He's putting up these numbers, and he's not been the most efficient from three, and he's not been the most efficient from the field, honestly, for a 7'5" guy. But he doesn't have a point guard. I mean, they're out there trying to run Jeremy Sohan at point guard. I mean, come on now. The Spurs on the year are 26th in turnovers a game as a team. Now, Wembanyama helps us out a little bit with 3.6 per game, which leads the team by a wide margin. But nobody else is really helping when it comes to like assist to turnover ratio. Trey Jones is good, and there's an interesting correlation here. Whenever Trey Jones plays more than 30 minutes a game, the Spurs are 6-17. Now that doesn't sound great, but when Trey Jones doesn't play 30 minutes a game, the Spurs are 10-40. So, I mean, it's not like Trey Jones is going to make this team a playoff contender, but on the year, he's playing about 27 minutes a game. He's averaging 10 points, 6 assists, 3.4 rebounds, and only averaging 1.4 turnovers a game. His shooting splits, well, from three, it's not good at all, only 34%, but that is on the come up a little bit compared to last year. And he's shooting at 52% from the field overall. But he's a pass-first point guard. He plays defense. He averages a steal per game. So Trey, I don't think Trey's the problem. And he shoots at 88% from the free throw line, which is a telltale sign that I think his shooting will improve from three-point land. But Pop's big idea to put Sohan at point guard, not brilliant. That probably wasn't the best idea he's ever had. Sohan on the year is averaging 11.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists compared to 2 turnovers. So less than a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, which, if you're new to the NBA, is terrible. But it's not all his fault. I mean, Pop put him in a position where he was not going to succeed. It's like Steve Clifford with the Hornets. I mean, you're not going to succeed with that group of guys in the NBA. Like you said, they're just under-talented. But enough about the Hornets. Back to the Spurs here. Sohan, I don't think we've seen the improvement that we really wanted to see. But again, he's 20 years old. In the modern NBA, we got to give these guys time to develop over time. And it's not like the Spurs are going to be winning anytime soon. So they need to stick with it. They need to stick with Sohan. Heck, he's got all the defensive potential in the world. A couple positives here for the few remaining Spurs fans. They did improve their defense this year. And a large part of this is the Victor Wembanyama effect. I mean, you have a 7'5" guy averaging 3.5 blocks a game. It's going to completely change your defensive approach. And Greg Popovich having this at his disposal in the years coming is kind of scary. As long as he sticks around for, we don't know how long he's going to stick around. I mean, he's old. His wife's gone. All he's got left is to coach basketball. So he may die coaching, honestly. But he's 25th. He's got the Spurs 25th in opponents' points per game and 22nd in defensive rating. Whereas last year, I mean, they they were like a parked car on defense. I mean, they couldn't stop a cold. It was terrible. But a couple more positives here. Devin Vassell on the year, not having a terrible. I mean, he's kind of like last year. Honestly, I think we've kind of seen the peak of Devin Vassell, and if he can just maintain this for the next 10 years, the Spurs will be in good shape. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, while shooting at 47% from the field and 38% from 3. Gets that efficiency up a little bit more, it'll be even better. And then Keldon Johnson, don't know about him here long term, but he did average 16 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 45% shooting from the field. 35% from 3 is not great, though. And then finally, Zach Collins down here, 11 points, 5.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 48% shooting from the field. I lied. We are also going to talk about Malachi Branham as well, who in his second year is averaging 8.7 points, 2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, while shooting at 43% from the field, 33% from 3. So the numbers are going up. The efficiency is going down in a bad way. So we're here on Face Cam now, and the big thing that Spurs fans have to look forward to this year is the NBA draft, once again. But this year they have 2 projected top 8 picks. Hopefully both of these will convey. That Raptors pick is top 6 protected, so if it lands outside of the top 6, obviously, then the Spurs get it, and that's what it's currently looking like. So if the draft was today, Wizards would go Sarr at 1, and at 2, the Pistons would probably go Cody Williams. 3 would be interesting. I think that the Spurs would go Zachary Reese-Shea, though, because of his shooting upside. I feel like this is a Michael Porter Jr. type prospect with maybe even more upside just because he's a little bit more athletic and way less injury prone. So Reese-Shea at 3, I think that's a home run pick for the Spurs. And then you look down the board later, we'll just go Jacoby Walter to the Hornets, hypothetically. 5, Ron Holland to the Blazers. We'll go Connect at 6 to the Grizzlies. 7, we'll get, we'll have them take Kevin McCullough or somebody like that. So that way here at 8, the Spurs have their choice of their point guard of the future. I think Trey Jones would be fantastic coming off of the bench. So I think in this case you're either getting Nikola Topic, who you compare with another guy from overseas, and Victor Wembanyama, and I think you see Vic's efficiency skyrocket. Or you can get a shot-first point guard in Rob Dillingham. But I think if you're trying to maximize what you're getting out of Victor Wembanyama, you go Topic and you go Zachary Reese-Shea, and that's the best possible draft if you're a Spurs fan. Now, with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're back every day with the NBA videos now that it's post-March Madness. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.